In the heart of Lagos, Nigeria, the Williams family was one of the wealthiest and most influential. Their glamorous life was the epitome of success, and at the center of it all was their cosmetics brand, GlamGlow, which promised luxury in every swipe. The founder, Margaret Williams, had grown the brand from a small local company into an international sensation with a cult following. Alongside her was her husband, Dr. Henry Williams, the respected physician and owner of Starlight Medical Center, a private hospital known for providing care to vulnerable young women. But what the public didn't know was that behind the glossy ads and gleaming products was a secret so dark it could ruin them all. Margaret was a driven, ruthless woman who believed that there was no price too high for success. She held tightly to the belief that sacrifices were a part of her empire's foundation. Her husband, Henry, had once been a man of principle, but years of persuasion had softened his morality, and he reluctantly became complicit in her ambitions. Together, they orchestrated a macabre production process. They encouraged, and at times even pressured, young women who found themselves in difficult situations to terminate their pregnancies. Starlight Medical Center became a well-known haven for young women who needed help, a reputation that Margaret carefully cultivated. Word spread that the hospital was supportive, discreet, and affordable. Young women, many from impoverished backgrounds, came seeking help, unaware that they were being manipulated for a far darker purpose. Each time a young woman chose to end her pregnancy at Starlight, the remains of her unborn child would be stored, preserved, and eventually transported to GlamGlow's private labs. There, these remains were used in Margaret's secret formula for creating the richest, most luxurious lipsticks in the market. The world marveled at GlamGlow's products, with makeup artists swearing by their velvety finish and a long-lasting allure. But the true ingredient behind the brand's allure remained hidden. As GlamGlow's popularity skyrocketed, so did the profits. The Williams family grew wealthier, and their empire spread across multiple cities, even gaining international acclaim. Margaret often gloated about her success, convinced that no one would ever discover her secret. "The world sees only beauty," she would say, "no one cares about the price." But not everyone in the Williams family was as consumed by ambition. Jessica Williams, Margaret's youngest daughter, was a gentle soul with a strong sense of justice. She'd been raised in wealth, but her heart longed for something more meaningful. Over time, she began noticing strange behaviors from her parents, particularly the secretive calls and hushed meetings at odd hours. And when Jessica accidentally overheard her mother speaking to a trusted business partner about special shipments from Starlight Medical, her curiosity intensified. One evening, Jessica was wandering through the family mansion when she stumbled upon a door she had never noticed before. Intrigued, she tried the handle and found it unlocked. Inside was a dimly lit room with large glass cabinets filled with vials and containers, each labeled with strange codes. Some vials had initials and dates matching those of Starlight Medical's patients. In horror, Jessica realized what she had uncovered. She had heard rumors of shady practices at Starlight, but never in her wildest dreams had she thought her parents could be involved in something so horrifying. Jessica felt torn, unsure of whom to trust, until she confided in her childhood friend, Daniel, a brave and outspoken journalist known for exposing corporate corruption. Together, they devised a plan to infiltrate Starlight and gather concrete evidence to bring down her family's empire. Jessica returned to the mansion with a secret camera and recording device hidden in her bag. She pretended to be a volunteer at Starlight Medical and, over time, managed to uncover files, records, and even lab reports that detailed the full extent of the operation. She learned how young women were encouraged to terminate their pregnancies, how doctors were paid off to ignore ethical boundaries, and how each sample was transported to GlamGlow's labs for processing. The deeper Jessica and Daniel delved, the more twisted the operation appeared. The hospital staff had been carefully selected to remain loyal and quiet, with handsome bribes to keep them silent. Some employees had even been threatened to keep them in line. Jessica knew the risk she was taking by going against her own family, but she couldn't stand by while innocent lives were being sacrificed. Finally, after months of collecting evidence, Jessica had everything she needed. She had recorded her mother's conversations, taken pictures of the vials, and gathered patient testimonies from young women who had unknowingly become part of Margaret's twisted scheme. But Margaret, always one step ahead, began to suspect Jessica's growing knowledge. One evening, Jessica returned home to find her mother waiting for her in the dimly lit study. "Jessica," Margaret began, her voice cold and unyielding, "I know what you're doing. You're prying into matters you don't understand." Jessica looked her mother in the eye, her hands trembling but her resolve firm. "I understand enough, Mother. You've turned our family into monsters. Those girls trusted you, and you used them for your own gain." Margaret's face twisted in anger. "You're naive, Jessica. Do you think empires are built on kindness? We are where we are because I dared to make tough choices." Jessica's heart broke at her mother's words, but she remained determined. "People like you will always think you're above justice. But I won't let you continue this." Their argument reached Henry, who had been listening from behind the door. He had tried to ignore his wife's deceit, burying his conscience for years. But hearing his daughter's defiance broke through his hardened heart. He realized then how far they had fallen. In a moment of clarity, Henry picked up the phone and called the authorities, knowing that by doing so, he was destroying the life he had built. The police raided the mansion, seizing records, vials, and other damning evidence. The media covered the story with shock and horror, broadcasting the Williams family's downfall to the world. Margaret and Henry were arrested, their empire dismantled, and GlamGlow products were banned from stores worldwide. Jessica, though heartbroken by the devastation of her family, found solace in knowing that she had done the right thing. She dedicated her life to creating an organization that helped young women in difficult situations, without ulterior motives. The Williams legacy was forever tainted, and what was once a symbol of beauty became a cautionary tale of greed and inhumanity. Margaret spent her remaining days in prison, forced to confront the lives she had destroyed, while Jessica found redemption in the service of others. And so, the story of the Williams family ended as a testament to the truth: beauty built on innocent lives will eventually crumble, leaving only the ugly truth behind. Did you get value from this story? Let me know in the comment section. Please friends, subscribe, like, comment and share. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.